It is very easy to switch between issues and returns. Just use the F11 function key. On the return screen you have lots of clicks that you just can click on or off. This is if you want to print slips for reserves, if you want to perform a status check on the member to get announced when the member has overdues, has fines, or if he has been blocked from the library usage. The cursor automatically stands in the barcode field, and you would scan in the barcodes of the items that have to be returned. After entering the first barcode, we will see what is going to happen. There is a transaction field, like we have on the issue screen as well, where we get the information that we need. We see the barcode again, and we see the title. We see details for the member. We see as well that the member has items on hold, so we can advise him to go to the issue desk and pick up the items that we have for him. We see the warnings that we already know now. It's the transaction amount outstanding, and the total amount that the member is owing, and address details for the member and the member group. And this information will be repeated with every barcode that we scan in. And with special barcodes, of course, there might be more information. For instance, this has been an overdue item, and LIBERO imposed a fine for the return of this overdue item in this case. And once again, like on the issue screen, there is an end button, but you could also use the end key on your keyboard. And if then a member asks, do I still have something at home, you can use the image down button on your keyboard, and you get the information, yes, you have 11 items at home. As there are heaps of outstanding fines for this member, we would definitely now collect some money from him. We use the function key 8 to get to the charge and fines processing screen. On that screen we see a detailed list of all the fines that have been imposed. We see a reference code, we see date and time when the fine has been imposed, we see a barcode if this is relevant information, we see title, the amount the member owes, the amount that has been paid in terms of a partial payment for a fine, we see dates when things have been paid, and so on. Now there are various ways how payments can happen. A member can either pay a single fine. If this is the case, you click on the line in the grid, and the details for that line will be displayed up here. You can select a payment type if a library allows several payment types, like cash for instance, and the payment amount will be displayed in that field. And if the user is going to pay the full amount, you can just hit the save button, and the fine will disappear from the grid, but can still be seen when you click on the Show Paid Transactions checkbox, and then all the fines that the member has ever paid will be listed as well. Another payment method is a partial payment. You may click on a line in the grid, and the outstanding amount is €5. The member doesn't have €5, he just has 3. Alright, 3 is better than nothing, we collect the 3. We change the payment amount and hit the save button. We see the amount has been €5, the member paid €3, and we see the date when the fines have been paid. A member could also pay more than one fine in a go. The total outstanding amount is €134.35. The member is willing to give us €15. Alright, we change the payment amount to €15 and say allocate the amount. What LIBERO now will do is it will start with the oldest fine and pay as many fines as the €15 will cover. Well, I did not select a payment type, thanks for the hint. If I didn't select one, LIBERO will use the standard payment type. So what we see now, if we look at the paid fines, is that fines have been paid on August 30th, which is today, and that the last fine that was covered by the €15 has been partially paid. Authorized staff might also have the permission to cancel fines. But to cancel fines, you must enter a cancellation note in this field so that the cancelled fines will always be reported in the system, and that cancelled fines can be separately displayed in the cash reconciliation report at the end of the day or the month. Fines must not get lost in LIBERO. You can always keep track of any fine that has been imposed in the system. Let's see what else, apart from the fines screen, we can reach from the issues and return screen. We could, for instance, if the member asks, hey, what are the 2 items that I have on hold, we could access the holds screen. And we search for the member name, or we sort the grid according to the member name, and here we are. These are the 2 items that are on hold for that specific member. We could also access the reserve screen to set a new reserve for a member. Reserves work on the basis of either item-specific reserves or title reserves. To place a reservation, you can execute a cataloging search starting on the reservation maintenance screen. Use the binocular button and enter your search term. In the result list, double-click on the title you want to place a reservation for, and all the details will be transferred to the reservation maintenance screen. You can now enter the member code for whom the reservation should be placed. You can select a method of notification, an expiry date, let's say today plus 90 calendar days. You can select a pickup branch. Expiry date cannot be less than the current date. Sorry. Today plus 90. Alright. Select a pickup branch from the drop-down list and select where the item should be belong to, or where the item should be trapped at. Asterisk means any branch in this type. Once you've filled all the details, you can add the new reservation. The new reservation will then be the first reservation in a reservation queue. Another option that you can reach from the Issues and Returns screen would, for instance, be the item Maintenance. This is a well-known screen as well. This is the item holding maintenance screen that we had before. On the item holding maintenance screen, you now see the borrowing history of a specific item and can, for instance, add item notes. And save them. You could also go to the stock screen to see more details about the record, and from there even access the MARC catalog record if you have the permission to do so. And of course you could always jump to the member maintenance from the Issues and Returns screen to change, let's